the session on programming in Java. In this session, you will learn to create simple Java classes, create primitive variables, use the Java SE7 numeric and binary literals, manipulate strings, and use the if-else branching statement. A class in a Java program is described in a text-based file with a .java extension. As per the structure shown on the screen, you can notice the keywords used in Java are highlighted in bold. The package keyword defines the address of this class relative to other classes and provides a level of access control through access modifiers, such as public and private. The import keyword defines other classes or groups of classes that you are using in your created class. The import statement helps specify what the compiler and resolving class names used in this class. The class keyword precedes the name of this class. The name of the class and the file name must match when the class is declared as public. However, the keyword public is a modifier and is not required. Variables, or the data associated with programs, such as integers, strings, arrays, and references to other objects are called instance fields. Constructors are functions called during the creation or instantiation of an object. Methods are the functions that can be performed on an object. They are also referred to as instance methods. To run a Java program, you must define a main function as shown in the code snippet on the screen. The main function is automatically called when a class is called from the command line. Command line arguments passed to the program are captured through the args array. A method that is modified with the static keyword is invoked without a reference to a particular object. Instead, a class name is used. These methods are referred to as class methods. The main function is a special method that is invoked when this class is executed by using the Java runtime. In Java, the class and method declarations are enclosed in a code block. Java fields, variables, and methods have a class scope defined by the opening of a left curly brace and ending with a closing right curly brace. The class scope allows any method in the class to call or invoke any other method in the class. It also allows any of the methods to access any field in the class. Code blocks are always defined by using braces. A block is executed by executing each of the statements defined within a block in an order starting from first to last, left to right. The Java compiler ignores white space that precedes or follows the elements that make up a line of code. Line indentation is not mandatory, but it makes code much more readable. In the given table, you can see the primitive data types used in Java. Java provides 4 different integer types to accommodate different size numbers. All the numeric types are signed, which means that they can hold positive or negative numbers. You can refer to your courseware for ranges allowed in each of the numeric data types. The floating point types hold numbers with a fractional part. There are 2 types of floating points, float and double. It is called double because it helps provide double the precision of float. A float uses 32 bits to store data, whereas a double uses 64 bits. You can append uppercase or lowercase l or f to the number to specify a long or float number. Char type is used for individual characters as opposed to a string of characters, which is implemented as a string object. Java supports Unicode, that is, an international standard for representing a character in any programming language in the world in a single 16-bit value. The first 256 characters coincide with the ISO Latin 1 character set, part of which is ASCII. The Boolean type can hold either true or false. If a value is not specified, a default value is used. The default char value is null and the default value for Boolean is false. Local variables, that is, variables declared within methods, do not have a default value. An attempt to use a local variable that has not been assigned a value will cause a compiler error. Therefore, it is a good practice always to supply a default value to any variable. In later versions of Java SE7, numeric literals can have any number of underscore characters between the digits to improve readability. You can place underscores only between digits. You cannot place underscores in the following places: at the beginning or end of a number, adjacent to a decimal point in a floating point literal, prior to a F or L suffix, in positions where a string of digits is expected. Here, you can see the comparison of numeric literals in the earlier versions and the current version of Java. Binary literals are Java int values. It can be expressed by using the binary system by adding the prefixes 0b to the number. B can be either in uppercase or lowercase. A cast is required when the integer value of the literal exceeds the greatest non-negative value that the type can hold. In the given example, this statement generates a compiler error as the value exceeds the greatest non-negative value of the byte type. Hence, the cast is required as shown. Here, you can see the comparison between binary literals in the earlier versions and the current version of Java. Let us consider the code on the screen that is used to demonstrate how text characters are represented in Java. Single characters can be represented with the char type. However, Java also includes the string type for representing multiple characters. You can define strings as shown in the slide and combine them by using the plus sign as a concatenation operator. The output from the code in the slide is Hello World. Strings should always be initialized by using the assignment operator, equals, along with text in quotation marks, as shown in the examples. The use of the new keyword to initialize a string is strongly discouraged. The reason is that bad practice in line 10 is a string literal of type string. Using the new keyword simply creates another instance functionally, which is identical to the literal. If this statement appeared inside a loop that was frequently invoked, there could be a lot of needless string instances created. String is a class, not a primitive type. Instances of the class, string, represent sequences of Unicode characters. String literals are stored as string objects and interned, which means that strings with matching characters point to the same string object. The code in the given slide demonstrates some common string methods, including concat, length, substring, and to uppercase. The output from the program is the if-else construct is used for the conditional execution of code. You can see the example on the screen that demonstrates the syntax for the if-else statement in Java. If the condition, A equal to B, evaluates to true, the if block statements get executed, otherwise the statements in the else block get executed. The output from the code on the screen will be false. In this session, you learned, Java classes are created by using the class keyword. Java supports the following primitive data types: int, short, byte, long, float, double, boolean, char. Strings can be manipulated by using the string operations. The if-else branching statement can be used for conditional execution.